Welcome to the 126th Air Refueling Wing podcast of the Illinois Air National Guard at Scott Air Force Base. I'm your host, Tech Sgt. Brian Ellison. The 126th Air Refueling Wing podcast focused on people, mission, and community. Well, here we are again doing a modified virtual drill in public affairs. We're rotating through the office one person at a time. The rest of the time, drilling virtually from home where I am right now. Coming up on the podcast, we'll hear from 126th recruiter Rich Olsen. Make sure you get subscribed to the 126th Airmen and Family Readiness newsletter called Miscellany. It's a great resource for information and events going on around the wing, the base, and the Air Force, including this just on the first page. Phone video counseling sessions are still available by adult, child, and youth and school military family life counselors, MFLCs, for all uniformed personnel and their family members. Parents may seek services for their children. Parents may seek services for their children through any CYB school MFLC, regardless of school attendance or CDC youth program enrollment. Appointments are scheduled directly with MFLCs. You can find all the phone numbers in the Miscellany newsletter. There's also virtual coaching on Military One Source coming up as well. They have several Zoom calls that you can attend, and there's some great information on there. I kind of got into the wormhole, if you will, of Military One Source. Found on there in the library, I believe it is, a link to a free subscription to Quello. That is, I guess you could call it a YouTube for full concerts. Sat down and watched the Avett Brothers from the Hangout Festival in 2014 on Quello. It's a free sign up through Military One Source. There's also changes coming to Thrift Savings Plan. Look for all that information on the 126th Airmen and Family Readiness newsletter. It's called Miscellany. You can find it on the 126 SharePoint, or ask Travis Barker to add you to the email list. You can contact him at travis.e.barker6.civ@mail.mil. That's travis.e.barker6.civ@mail.mil. We're joined now from the 126th Recruiting Office by Tech Sgt. Rich Olsen, production recruiter. Even though we're in a pandemic where we have to practice social distancing, the mission of the Illinois Air National Guard Recruiting Office continues. Tech Sergeant Olsen, how are you guys holding up over there in recruiting?
Hey, well, first off, thanks for having me on today and getting the recruiting office involved. We really appreciate that. We're, like you said, we're still recruiting. We're still doing our job. And we may be at home, we may be at the office, but we're still making it happen.
How are you going about meeting with potential airmen during this pandemic?
I tell you what, you got to love technology. Technology is the key to all of it. We're meeting with people, doing just phone calls. We're doing Skype interviews, FaceTime, Zoom, all that good stuff. We're using that technology and using it to our advantage to be able to meet with people.
With the pandemic and seeing all the response from the National Guard, has there been an increase in interest over the past couple of months in joining the Air National Guard?
We've been staying pretty steady. We've been doing a lot of social media interaction with people, and that's really helped us to be able to reach out to new applicants, and get those people that are interested started along with the process. We have our 126 Air Refueling Wing recruiting Facebook page. Myself and Tech Sergeant Phillips, the other production recruiter, we both have our personal Facebook pages that we use for recruiting purposes, as well as our Instagram. And we actually, our office assistant, Master Sergeant Kettlecamp, just created a Linktree account for us. We're able to use that to get information out as well.
What is Linktree?
Linktree. So basically it's you can access it using a QR code. You can scan that QR code and it brings up a lot of basic information about the 126. It brings up a quick survey to get you tentatively qualified to start the process. And And like I said, it goes over a lot of basic information to get people educated on the Air National Guard and on the 126th. And then it automatically comes to us, and then we're able to reach out to the applicants.
What's the most popular job that that people are interested in doing when they first express interest in the Air National Guard?
Well, being an air refueling wing, obviously, we have a lot of different positions within, the aircraft maintenance realm, and a lot of people tend to flock to those. Also, jobs in civil engineering are pretty popular as well, and there's quite a few different options within both of those, aircraft maintenance and civil engineering. There are a few jobs that we're definitely looking for people for. We're looking for those people that are interested in water and fuels management, looking for crew chiefs, always looking for security forces personnel.
You mentioned jobs in civil engineering. What's one specific job that you're looking for in civil engineering?
So we are looking for people that are interested in water and fuel system maintenance. Basically, what that job entails, it's essentially, it's plumbing. It's being a plumber. That's what it comes down to. And I tell you what, that is a great skill to have on your side. Not only, you're able to, get paid while you go to tech school and learn the job, but you can do it in the Air National Guard, and as well, you can transfer those skills to the civilian side. And I don't know about you, but I've had to call a plumber, in on an emergency throughout the weekend, and it's not cheap. Plumbers get paid very well on the outside.
Yeah, they sure do.
When it comes down to it, you can get paid to go to tech school to learn how to do that job, and then you can come home and you can use that 100% college tuition. You can continue your career within, or continue your education within that career, or pursue something else.
We're joined today by production recruiter, Tech Sergeant Rich Olsen from the 126th Recruiting Office. Now, Tech Sergeant Olsen, you talked earlier about college. What are some other benefits? And let's talk more about that college benefit. What's the college benefit for the Illinois Air National Guard?
So the big benefit is 100% college tuition, 100% college tuition. How that works is it's 100% tuition to any Illinois state-funded school. So that could be, SIUE, Edwardsville, Carbondale, anything that's state-funded. 100% is going to cover all your tuition. And that's going to be whether it's undergrad, graduate, professional certifications, whatever the case may be. And then in addition to that, Montgomery GI Bill, which is going to be a stipend up to $392 per month in your pocket.
Can we use that at community college?
You sure can. I have a brochure that I give to all my applicants, and it's got, a list of, 30 or 40 schools that tuition can be used at.
That's fantastic. What are some other benefits to joining the Illinois Air National Guard?
Well, obviously, the biggest benefit that I talk to my applicants about is just being a part of the family, being a part of something bigger than yourself. And that's a benefit that you can't put any amount of money on. Other than that, obviously, we talked a little bit about education, and there's something that I personally like. I love to travel, and I've had a lot of opportunities to do that within my almost 13 years in the military now. Been all over the place, Puerto Rico, Guam, all over the States, quite a few places. I can't even remember all of them.
I know that feeling. I've been the same way. I can't. Sometimes it comes up in conversation. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been there. Oh yeah, I've been there. So yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you go to so many places, you start to lose track of where in the world you've been, and that's just a fantastic. Being able to experience the world while traveling with the Air National Guard is just amazing. One thing that I really like, Tech Sergeant Olsen, is the TRICARE. I mean, the TRICARE, you get You get signed. You can get signed up for TRICARE Reserve Select by serving in the Illinois Air National Guard.
Yeah. So I tell you what, when I first came in, I was eight years of active duty. So, all my TRICARE was taken care of.
Right.
And then it was kind of a smack in the face the first time, I wasn't under TRICARE, and I had to pay those civilian fees for medical insurance for me and my family. So to be able to have that TRICARE coverage, I mean, you look at the price for TRICARE Reserve Select, and then you look at a plan for, some civilian company, and you can't argue with it.
No, you can't. Holy cow. I love TRICARE. I can't believe that. I can't imagine paying what people pay on the civilian side for TRICARE or for insurance.
And not only TRICARE, every single member gets that service members group life insurance up to $400,000 policy. That's also, very minimal as far as cost. I mean, you're looking at about $25 a month for a $400,000 policy.
It's nice having that peace of mind for your family.
Exactly. The National Guard Association of Illinois, for every new member that joins the Guard, they offer that 1 year, $10,000 policy free of charge, just for joining the Illinois Air National Guard.
I mean, you can't beat that peace of mind. Knowing that your college is taken care of, that your medical insurance is inexpensive and it's top notch, and then having that peace of mind for your family is great. And then being able to to have access to Scott Air Force Base.
Absolutely. I mean, being able to shop at the commissary for your groceries, or run over to the BX. Going over to the BX, essentially, going to Walmart or Target. I mean, they got everything that you need right there.
Right, and you're not having to pay, and you don't have to pay taxes on
exactly.
that stuff. So, I mean, you get that little savings there too. So, and there's so many programs on base, you can't beat those benefits as well. There's just benefits all around. I don't know why you wouldn't join. I guess now I'm ready to join.
The other thing I was going to bring up, you realize how expensive gym memberships are?
No, no.
I mean, they can be, $50, $60 a month, something like that. I mean, why not save that money and come on base? And there's multiple gyms on base that you're able to use free of charge.
Now that is one benefit I haven't thought about. We'll be right back with Tech Sergeant Olsen and I believe a special guest. Make sure you check out the Wing's Facebook and Instagram pages. Things do continue on in the time of the pandemic in very interesting ways. Check out pictures of the maintenance group squadron's change of command. What creative hobbies have you taken up during the pandemic? Check out the answers and leave your answer on our Facebook page. We're back with Tech Sergeant Rich Olsen, production recruiter from the 126th Recruiting Office, and a special guest, my recruiter, who helped me transfer from the Wyoming Air National Guard to the Illinois Air National Guard, Tech Sergeant Heather Wilde. She's the recruiting flight chief with the recruiting office. Tech Sergeant Wilde, it sounds like you are still staying busy with recruiting.
Yeah, we are. We've done a lot of virtual recruiting. I don't know if you have followed our Facebook page or our Instagram page, but at Facebook and Instagram, it's 126 ARW Recruiting. We have transitioned into a lot of virtual recruiting with live videos, surprise guest, Facebook videos, having multiple people from different squadrons and shops jump on and talk about their careers. We've also moved over to virtual orientations where we set up FaceTime or Skype meetings or anything like that. And the person who is doing the orientation for our, possible enlistees, they walk around and they show them the shop and they answer any questions they have. So it's been a bit of a change going from face to face. As recruiters, we love to be with people. We love to go and chat and talk. But now setting up that virtual, it's been good.
How has recruiting changed over the last 2 months?
drastically, I would say. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, we still can't do face-to-face appointments with applicants. We don't have the availability or the ability yet to bring applicants on base to meet. And with many businesses still being closed, we don't have the opportunity to go and sit down with them. But we are doing as many Zoom appointments, Skype appointments, Facebook Live appointments with applicants so that we can still, get to know them, answer their questions, and help them move through the process. I would say, things have slowed down a little bit, but we still have new applicants coming in every day, it seems like, saying like, hey, I'm interested. Can you help me out? Hey, I saw your social media post. Hey, like that kind of stuff. So it's been really awesome. As we've amped up our social media accounts, each of the recruiters have an account, and then we have a recruiting overall team account too. So it's changed drastically, but all really good tools and resources that we've had the opportunity to use during this virtual recruiting, we'll be able to transition to the face-to-face recruiting too. We'll still be on those live videos so people can go back and watch them. We're still going to be doing, orientations if somebody can't make it in, all those things. So it's been awesome.
That's great. Yeah, that you're able to transition that use that in once all the social distancing is over. As the recruits, big questions, big concerns, have they changed? Have you seen what's their biggest concerns or biggest questions that they're asking right now?
To be completely honest, I think a lot of them are still asking the same questions. Mm-hmm. What kind of education benefits do you have? What kind of opportunities do you have? How is this career field that I select going to help me on the civilian side? I don't think they've really shifted in anything in regards to the pandemic. We do have people that have enlisted and they're part of our student flight program going to basic training that have asked different questions, more so in regards to like, how am I going to be, what kind of measures or safeguards are being taken to keep me safe. But our applicants that are just reaching out to us, they're pretty much asking the same questions right now.
How has MEPS changed? That's got to be an interesting new experience.
Yeah, MEPS has definitely changed, and I'm going to actually have Sergeant Olsen answer that question. Okay. Because he has sent in a lot more people to MEPS to process, so he's a little bit more adverse on that, but he can answer that.
So I would say, number one, first and foremost, MEPS is still processing people. We're still able to get people qualified to take their ASVAB and complete their physical. Now there's one added step in there. So we have to have people check in at the hotel, get a COVID screening, and once they have been cleared from that, they're able to proceed to MEPS and actually get their processing started. So like I said, it's a little bit of an added step, but they seem to be processing people quickly through the hotel and getting them over to the MEPS facility. So that doesn't add an extra day or anything? That's just something that they do before they get on the bus or what have you? Correct. Yeah, MEPS is, it's still a 2-day process. Your first day you take the ASVAB, your second day you do the physical. It's just that, you have to check in at the hotel before you go there. That's all. So I would say maybe it might add maybe an hour onto your day at most. A lot of great information here, Tech Sergeant Rich Olsen. How can we get in contact with you guys? So like we said, we've got our Facebook and our Instagram, 126 ARW Recruiting. And then, of course, we have our main line, our main phone number, which is 618-222-5701. And that number gets forwarded to all the recruiters. And then we're able to determine, who that applicant should be paired up with as far as who their recruiter is going to be. Thank you, Tech Sergeant Olsen and Tech Sergeant Wilde from the recruiting office for joining us today on the podcast. I hope to see you both in person again eventually. You can contact the 126th Recruiting Office on Instagram and Facebook or give them a call, 618-222-5701.
Be sure and check out our podcast from May. We're getting a lot of great feedback on that. Last month, we heard from the Med Group and how they are participating in the state's response to COVID-19. If you click on that link in our Facebook page, that should take you to your podcast catcher. Thanks for listening to the 126th Air Refueling Wing podcast, focus on people, mission, and community. I'm Tech Sgt. Brian Ellison. Hope to see you in person soon.